Hey Virgo, welcome into the reading. This is going to be your October 2024 general monthly message. Hope everyone is doing well. So let's get started. So far, we've pulled the Ocean card as well as the Phoenix card. So the group of Virgos that I'm picking up on today, you're definitely going through a huge moment in life at this time. The Ocean does speak about major change, change that you've never experienced before. Okay, so we all go through changes throughout life. That's inevitable. But this particular one is a first. So whatever topic it's touching, whatever part of life it is involving, there hasn't been change like this for you up until now. Okay, so we'll see what this is talking about when we get into the cards. Then you also have the Phoenix. Obviously, when we think of the Phoenix, we think of the transformative quality, the death rebirth process. But paired with the Ocean card, it is telling me that the part of the process that you're in, the part of the Phoenix process that you're in at this time is the ash, is the lowest, okay? So when we discuss transformative work, some people call this shadow work, even there is a part of that process that is the darkest, is the lowest, right? So you are descending down, then you're in the bottom, and then you're ascending up. Okay, so it's usually how the process works when we are going through a death rebirth. And so I just think that at this point you are in the bottom part of that. And it is not the best. It is not the, most fun energy to be in for sure. But when we are at our lowest, all that can happen at that point is that we start ascending back up, right? So the advice here is to be as aware and present as possible at this time if you are at that lowest part of the transformation, and flow. The worst thing that you can do at this time is resist, is dwell on the uncertainties, on the what ifs. It's almost as though you have to just raise your hands up and let the universe, source, God, nature take its course, and just sort of have this faith and belief that whatever happens, happens, right? And you have no control of it at this point. If you're looking for control, all that is going to do is make this process even more challenging. It's inevitable. This thing that's happening, it needs to happen. Your spirit, your essence, the soul, right? Your soul needs to go through this experience. It needs to go through this lesson, because there's a reason, okay? There's always a reason when this happens. On the other side of it, you'll see that reason. On the other side of it, you'll understand it, but you may not understand it right now. And that is also a really challenging thing as well. So it's like, what is happening? Why is all this happening? One thing after another. Things are breaking apart in my life, right? It's first, it could be just your overall energy, your overall vibe. And then next thing you know, something happens to your job or finances, or something happens in your relationship, or whatever the case is, that is really huge. And there's a lot of breakdowns. And so it breaks down so we can break through. And there's an elevation and there's an ascension that happens here. And it's necessary for whoever this is I'm reading for. And it's part of the life journey. It's part of the life process. It's part of being incarnated on this earthly plane at this time of life, okay? We are all going through major changes here, and we always will, right? So if you believe in reincarnation, you think your soul's going to come back lifetime after lifetime or whatever. There's a reason for that, because the soul, being an ethereal, energetic concept, usually does not experience itself in the 3D, in the third dimension, as it does when it incarnates here into the earth, or any other planet or place in the universe that is similar, right? So there's a reason for that. And yeah, there's a big ego death as well that happens here. The life that you've known thus far is changing. Your character, your personality that people have known you to be is also changing. There's a wake-up call here. There's an eye-opening moment, and it's not easy. But it is beautiful if you are aware and present to experience this in the moment. Okay, this is where you get to see what you're made of. This is where you get to showcase and experience and put into practice your abilities, your strength, your resourcefulness, even. But yeah, not without huge depth of emotion. Being in the dark, being in the ashes, being underwater, feeling like you are being swallowed up, by the universe. And I'm so sorry that right away in this reading, this is what we're discussing, but this is for somebody or a group of people specific who are going through this process at this time. And just know it is going to be okay. You just have to flow through it like the fish would in the water, right? Not resisting and going with the current, which is the ability that you do have if you really think about it, just because you are on the axis with Pisces here, right? So Pisces, the fish, they do reside, they do live in these deep waters. And so when we are discussing an opposition and two opposite energies, they meet in the middle. So there is always something in common. There is always something that you can learn, and that you have these hidden characteristics or hidden behavior from your opposite sign. And so the ability to flow and be mutable as you are, mutable earth, changing earth, you are born with that capability. You are born with that birthright to be able to be flexible and adjust with the circumstances and the ever-changing energy of life. So you're not new to that. It's just that you're new to this specific change that you're going through. And it may seem like one of those huge, profound changes that will that you'll remember, right, years after. And you'll understand during this time, the end of 2024, maybe going into next year, you'll understand later why you had to go through this, why these major concepts in your life had to break down, because you're meant to get somewhere else. You're meant to go somewhere new. You're meant to change direction here, as we do during this lifetime. All right. So in your personal energy for the month of October, you have the Page of Wands and the Emperor. So there is so much power here with the Emperor card. So much control as well. So you are an emperor, which is male or female, but someone who is experienced, is established, maybe older, or at least more mature, has gone through some ups and downs, has gone through the blood, sweat, and tears to get where you're at. Whatever this is, you are experienced in this. But you find yourself in new territory with the Page of Wands. Okay, so maybe you're bringing your old practices, your old thoughts, belief systems into this new phase of life, and it just doesn't vibe. It doesn't mesh. What used to work isn't working here where you're at now. So there is a sense of being the new guy, the new girl. But I do think that you have what it takes. I think that there is some at the end of the day, some enthusiasm here with the Page of Wands. You do see opportunity. You do see with your critical eye that you have, right, as a Virgo, you see where the flaws are. And so maybe you're coming in excited to make those corrections and change these things that you know need to be changed. And so that's sort of what is continuing to push you through this process or through this phase, is that you know you have value and you know you can make a difference. And I do always say this about the Virgo. There is so much value that you bring to the table in anything that you do. And I don't think you get enough credit for that, because of your capabilities and your skill sets. And, you know, you are sort of a jack of all trades and you know a lot about a lot. And you can put your hands to work, your critical mind to work, and you can make improvements because you have that eye to know what needs to be improved, right? Very strategic as well. So anywhere you go with any group that you're working with, within a partnership, within a family dynamic or a work situation, you always add that value, which is an awesome thing. So yeah, I think that, you know, you find yourself sort of new here. You're starting something up that you haven't really done before. Okay, so whatever this is, like I said, I know I keep saying it, but it is a new thing. There's something about this eclipse that's happening as well this month of October 2024 that is going to ignite a fire, ignite some sort of like passion, and allow you to really initiate and take action during this time. So there is an eclipse. I think it's a new moon, lunar eclipse, or I don't know. I just know that there's an eclipse in the middle of October. So just look out for those dates and maybe do some type of ritual or something like that and start something during that eclipse. But yeah, so let's see. I think that you're also feeling really edgy and brave and risky. I think that your coolness is coming through strongly here, to where it's like, you're not going to be so, what is the word? Pleasing, right? So like you being of service, you're always very polite and respectful. And I'm not saying that you're not going to be like that, but there's something about your energy where it's like, you're really not preoccupied with the social pleasantries and with just being that yes man, okay, or that yes girl, like doing anything anybody asks of you, you know. So it doesn't seem like you're going to do that. I think that you're doing your own thing, and you're really not putting anybody else before you at this time. Like there's something that you're really working on here. All right, let's see. Going into your partnership, relationship, love energy for the month of October 2024, please, for the Virgo. 5 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, Well, in your love life, you want to build with someone. You want to communicate, but it's not easy. There is some obstacles and some challenges here with seeing eye to eye between you and someone else. And there is some sadness. There's a sense of loss. The Virgo that I'm picking up on today, as it relates to love and relationship, partnership, there's a lot of heavy heart energy, emotion, deep emotion here with the ocean. And maybe this is the biggest thing that is happening, right, as far as what is breaking down. Yeah, I feel it so strong in my heart right now, my chest. Like someone is really hurt. I don't know. I think that you have tried for a long time to work things out, but the Three of Pentacles would associate with, trying to work things out, right, in a relationship. But I just don't think that that's happened. I think that you're just so overwhelmed with emotion and sadness that you don't have the energy to try and work on it right now. Maybe it'll come later, but right now as it stands, you're too weak emotionally to give this another go, to give this another try. And you're just like, I can't anymore. Whatever you've been going through it for a really long time. What else am I getting here? I mean, there's so much. I don't even know where to begin with it. There's so much when it comes to your relationship. If you are partnered with somebody, man, have you gone through it with this person? If you're not, if you're single, you have probably gone through many, many relationships or, types of people or different types of relationship dynamics. I don't think that it's always the same type. If you are single, this person, like whoever I'm reading for, is the type that maybe you don't have a standard type, right? Like all of the people that you've been with or dated or whatever they've always been super, super different. And I don't know if that's just a matter of like, okay, well, this type of person didn't work. Let me try another type of person. And then that type of person didn't work. Let me try another type of person, right? And so the critical, judgmental side of you that is like, I don't think that you're ever the type that's like haughty, right? Or like conceited. Maybe you can be, depends on your type of like what your birth chart has, right? But because you are critical, and so you see the flaws in everyone, right? But typically you keep that to yourself. Typically you catch onto it, and maybe that would steer the direction that partnership is going to take. But you do it in a wholesome, polite, respectable way, right? Like it's not this brash and, looking down on the person and calling them out on their flaws or whatever. But I do think that the critical and the judgmental characteristic that you have can maybe deter your ability to really get close to a person. So just something to think about there. Yeah, there's just a lot to work on, Virgo, as it relates to your love life and your heart and what you're looking for. At the end of the day, if you are dating a lot and none of them seem to stick, you need to you don't need to do anything. You do whatever you want. But I would recommend that you sort of look at yourself, like what parts of you need to be healed, right? Like, are you so overly accommodating? Are you so nice? Are you so service oriented when you meet someone new and it doesn't work out and they leave you high and dry or something like that, right? Like, look at these parts of you. If you're showing up the same in all of these different type of dynamics with these different types of people and personalities, but you always show up exactly the same, and it's a pattern of, you do it this way every single time. Every time you meet someone, you do the same thing, you act the same way every single time. It's like a process that you have, I'm feeling. And so you're trying to find somebody where your process works and your process fits. But that process is something that needs to be looked at, because I don't know if that's authenticity. And this could be talking about someone else as well, maybe your partner. Doesn't have to be you. So it's sort of just identifying that the Three of Pentacles wants to create something, wants to build something of substance with another person. And it's just really hard for you to do that. If you are in a relationship, like I said, you guys have gone through it. When is it going to be enough of like, okay, I get it. We're not supposed to be together, right? Like, I get it, you know, because relationships, like true love and healthy relationships, like they don't go through that. So, like, when are you just going to identify, you know, that's just how it is. All right. That's a whole other reading. Okay. This is your finances and career here for October. So you have the Hierophant. Beautiful. Love that. For finances and career. Hierophant with the Emperor. I know that this is your general energy, but if you have the Hierophant in your finances and career sector, like, I think that you're doing all right as it relates to your job. The Hierophant has to do with these commitments that, you know, we make to, what is it? Like institutions. So it could be corporate that you're working for, you know, some type of corporate job or legal job, something like that. That's a little bit more professional. If you are not in those types of industries, then something about those industries will be coming up in your profession this month in October. And then it's also, there's a little message here that if you, like, there's a need to be more professional, like wherever you are working. So even if it is a job where, you know, like it's labor, you work outside or something like that, like there's something about the need to be more professional here. But other than that, it is telling me with the Queen of Swords here as well that there's a lot of strategy and thought going into your finances or your job this month. You may be dealing with different personalities as well. So you want to watch what you say, watch how you approach them. Again, I wouldn't advise to approach every personality the same way, especially if you are in some level of authority, or if you want to get your way with your employer, or you want to create more peace in your, you know, with your colleagues, then there's this need to adapt to these different personalities. But for the most part, I think that you want to be left alone here with the Queen of Swords. And it's just like, I'm just feeling somebody, whoever, like when you're at work and you're dealing with all of the people at work, somebody here is like over it, like just shut up, you know, like in your head saying that, like, I cannot deal with these people today. But that's how I feel. I mean, it's important to stand up for what you believe in. It's important to have strong convictions and a sense of, you know, what it is you value and your moral compass here. You're seeing through the drama at your workplace. You're seeing through how some people at work just do not do things the right way. And I think you're super over that. Okay. All right. Let's go into a 9-card spread and see what is coming through for you in October. It's really hard to have to continue, you know, your day-to-day 9 to 5, dealing with the same people, all of the things, while you are literally going through a breakdown. I think your relationship, it weighs heavy on you. Your love life weighs heavy on you right at this time. And you just want, in October especially, you want your power back. you're doing things to empower yourself again and to like say, hey, like I deserve better. I want more, but not without these moments of just really dark sadness. A lot of emotions are coming out to the surface this month. They could be crying a lot. You know, just take it easy, take it slow when you're not working, when you're home. I wouldn't advise to like really make a lot of plans. And it just feels like the way I'm feeling it, like your body needs rest. All right, October, please, for the Virgo. It's coming through in October. Two of Swords, definite choice. You have to make a choice and you're not ready. There's a lot of vagueness going on here. 10 of Swords. Ooh. There's a lot of like, I don't know the truth, because there's illusion. You're not seeing things clearly. Whether that is because you're in the depths of your emotions and in the dark, or because you're dealing with a person who isn't showing themselves clearly. But like, again, I said, like your body is tired. You're over it. Done. No more. I can't go through this anymore. It's not like, that's not how to live. So for whoever this is, a lot of people go through this, right? Especially in their early ages or early years of being in relationship. A lot of people go through that toxic relationship and they think that they're never going to get out of it. They think that it's supposed to be like that for them. And I'm telling you, it's not. Like someday, like when you get the courage to leave, and you thought that you would never be able to leave, or you thought that this was never going to end and this is how your life is. But it ends. And years later, like you don't even remember it anymore. Like it's not even like you remember the lesson, you grew from it. You ascended as a soul. You became a better human being for it. You probably became a better parent. You became a better child to your parents. You became a better employer or employee, or, like you're just living a better life just because of the lessons that you learned about yourself. Okay. So when you're in that type of relationship, it's teaching you things about yourself, your self-love, how you value yourself, the things that you put up with because you don't love yourself or value yourself enough, the codependencies, right? The toxic traits that all of us have at some point that stem from defense mechanisms that were created when you went through your childhood trauma. Like it's all shadow work, all of that. Okay. And when we go into these types of relationships, in the moment, it's chaos. In the moment, it's constant pain, love, pain, love, pain, love. And it hurts and it's tiring and it depletes you and it takes all of your life force and it ruins your life. But when you're out of it and you grow from it, and it takes time and it takes years, all of these things will be healed, right? Like all of these things, you're going to see parts about yourself that needed to change, and you change them and you show up better as a better person. You're not meant to be in this type of relationship forever. It's when you're in a toxic relationship and you know that's like, you should also know that this is not meant to be forever. You're not meant to be with this person forever. You're not meant to be in this relationship forever. And some people cannot leave and they waste years and time in this type of dynamic. Inevitably, eventually it will end. And maybe this is the part that you're at, the ending part here. And I know it might hurt, but I promise you, you're not going to be in this state forever. Got the World as well. Yeah, this is a huge ending. Like, enough is enough. And with the World, it's tricky because you, like, how can I say this? The universe gives us the opportunity to make a big change and to not continue with the same pattern and go into the same loop, right? Like, you always have these moments of, this is the time, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna do something, you know, like never again, blah, blah. But then it's like, do you stick with that or do you just go back? Because the World here is not the change necessarily, but it's an opportunity for an ending of a cycle. So free will comes in and says, you know, you have the option to continue another cycle and do another go around, or to jump out of this never ending loop and jump out of it and be done with it once and for all, right? Some people, when they're faced with a world type of opportunity, will decide to jump back into another go around, another loop of it, instead of jumping out. Does that make sense? You also have the Knight of Swords. Somebody has a lot to say here. The Three of Wands. So in the middle of October, it's like there's truth to be said. There's things to be said. And I don't know what you're waiting for. Somebody is waiting for it. Or it's like somebody has said something, somebody did something here with the Knight of Swords and really like went for it. You know, this could be like a argument, you know, where somebody was like lowballing or really mean with their words or sharp with their words. And so it's like waiting for the aftermath of this fight, waiting for the aftermath of this conversation. You know, like, it is what it is. I said what I said. You know, I can't take these words back. Now what? Now what's going to happen? You also have the Eight of Swords. This is a lot of sword energy, air energy. It's like I feel stuck. I feel trapped. I can't get out of this. I feel like I've read this type of, I've had this type of reading, or I did this type of reading for Virgo before. But yeah, just feels like you can't get out. You're stuck. There's all of these self-created, limited thoughts and fear and the I can't type of talk. I can't because this, I can't because that. Then what'll happen here? Or all of the uncertainties. You also have the Six of Cups, Five of Cups, which is the same as this card. And the Hierophant again. Hierophant is like begging you to be like, bro, like you don't have to do this. You don't have to put up with this, right? Like, this doesn't have to play out this way. This is not life. You were made for more. You know, who are you? Why are you putting up with this? Like, and it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be a job. Some of you, it is like you feel stuck in your place of employment as well. Just completely taken advantage of and depleted there as well. I would suggest to take it up with God. I would suggest to connect with something bigger than yourself, energetically bigger, spiritually bigger than yourself. So even if you don't believe in God and you know, whatever, like, it doesn't have to be this like so deep into religion, right? But I'm just saying, like, let it go. Talk to yourself, talk to the sky, talk to the ceiling or whatever, and just be like, help me. You know, help me through this time, get me out of this time, guide me. What should I do? What direction should I take? Give me a little boost, give me a little jump start, you know, show me the path, show me the next choice to make or the next action to take that is going to set me on the right path that I need to be on to get out of this situation. Enlisting the assistance of your guides, of your ancestors, of your angels, of your own higher self and your own power. Trying your best to get out of your head. A lot of this stuff is mental. These are mental blockages that we put on ourselves, especially when we are in situations like this. But humans can only take so much, you know, especially if you're living in Western society and you're, you know, in America or, you know, just like you have options, you have ways to get out of situations like this, whether it is a relationship or a job, you know, you have help. This is not how life is supposed to be. You're not supposed to be feeling this way. When you feel this way, this is your indicator that something needs to change and you need to get out of it. Like, this is not life. This is not real. You're mentally creating this place right in your head that's like, this is my life. I have to be here for whatever reason, but you don't have to be here. You're losing yourself. You're losing who your essence and, you know, who you were born to be. Like, remember yourself as a child, you know, what were you like then? Or what were you like in your early 20s, you know, and what were your aspirations, your goals? What did you think your life to be in those ages before you got into this situation and you've been stuck here? It's like you're stuck in limbo. You're stuck in the sky. You're stuck in the dark, which we already established that's where you're at. But again, like I said, this is not the end all be all. This is not where it ends. This is literally the beginning. And you will see if you're taking this reading seriously, couple years from now, if you do something about this, right? Like I said, when you're at the lowest, when you're at the darkest, the only place to go is up. The only place to go is into the light. So when you're at that light, when you're on the other side of it, you'll see, like, you were not supposed to be here forever. This is just a little tiny moment in the duration of your lifetime. Right now, it feels like it is your entire life, like it is everything. But I promise you, it's just a little tiny moment. And someday it'll even be a little insignificant moment in your life. All right. If you need a personal reading and you want more details for your own situation, you can email me and we'll set up a one-on-one personal reading. My email is in the description of this video. But otherwise, yeah, like the video if you got something out of it. Press the little like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. And leave a comment. Let me know what's going on here. But I wish you all of the luck in the world and a really positive month of October. Thank you so much for your time and energy. I always appreciate that. But yeah, we'll see you on the next.